见了，开心的快疯了，你从不计较，服务好的很荒谬，有你在撑腰，幸福的快炸掉，大声炫耀，要高峰，去巅峰，要高峰 ，TFBO。最快速的方式，快乐出手就得到，满满的安全感，幸福在转角。烦恼不见了，开心的快疯了，你从不计较，服务好的很荒谬，有你在撑腰，幸福的快炸掉，大声炫耀，要高峰，去巅峰，要高峰 ，TFBO。
You're looking live here at the Maba Stadium, the home of Malaysian basketball, and we are getting set to kick things off here at the 2023 AsiaBasket Kuala Lumpur. Our first matchup just moments away from tip-off. It's between Sanzar Pharmaceuticals and Shawarma Pilipinas. Good afternoon. My name is Stan C. To my left, Kai Meng Cheng, our analyst for this opening matchup.
Hello. Excited to be here. You know, it's been a while since we've commentated on the Filbasket International Tournament. It's even changed names now. It's the AsiaBasket International Championship here.
So much has happened, and AsiaBasket looking to take a leap forward into its future, a very bright and promising one, as we look at the two teams that are getting ready for our opening matchup. Again, it's Sanzar Pharmaceuticals taking on Shawarma Shack, two teams rooted in the Philippines. You've got Shawarma Shack, they're in blue, some of them no strangers to this tournament. Meanwhile, you've got Sanzar Pharmaceuticals, they're in white. Some of them have played at the highest levels of Philippine basketball, others in the collegiate level. You've got some familiar faces here on both ends some of them Filipinos, some of them of different ethnicities. We're going to get to know our players more in a bit, but Meng, let's take a look at the bracket first. We've got 10 teams, both of them divided into two groups, and the format is as follows. Each team will be facing off against all the members of their group in a single round-robin format, and at the end, the top two teams from each group will be going to the playoffs, where the top team in Group A takes on the number 2 team in Group B, and then vice versa.
Yeah, exactly. And as you were saying, you know, we'll be here starting from the 9th, that's today, all the way till the 18th. I do believe the playoffs will start on the 17th of April.
That's exactly right. It's going to be a sprint, as they call it, but it's going to be a very fun one, because for us here in the AsiaBasket International Tournament, we're looking to spread the game, grow the game in our region, and that's what makes this a very thrilling prospect, despite the fact that summer's beginning to heat up both in the Philippines and here in Malaysia. Now let's get to know some of the players who will be taking the court. We're going to be tracking their journeys as we get through the AsiaBasket International Tournament.
Yeah, you know, Stan, you talked about some of these players we've seen before. I gotta admit, you know, RJ Dallas from the Shawarma Shack Pilipinas team is one of the players that I have seen before in the previous Filbasket tournament. But one of the key players for the Sanzar Pharmaceuticals is number 39, Shaq Alanas. You told me before the game that he was a college star for Lyceum College in the Philippines.
That's right. He was in Lyceum Philippines of the university in the 2010s. He's played in other leagues in the Philippines, including the MPBL and in the Vismin Super Cup. He's going to be facing off a familiar foe in Mike Harry Zuzu from Shawarma Shack. And that's because he and Mike Harry Zuzu were actually once teammates in Lyceum in college. So that should be a very intriguing matchup this afternoon.
Wow, and you can see Mike Harry Zuzu there looking at himself on the big screens here at Maba. But, you know, I am interested to see what he brings to the table for the Shawarma Shack Pilipinas team.
Yeah, Mike Zuzu, he used to be an NCAA all-defensive player, known for really being an anchor on that side of the floor. So to see him take the lead Shawarma Shack here on defense should be something to definitely take note of.
Yep, and we can see here on the screen the keys to the game has popped up for the Sanzar Pharmaceuticals. One of the key to the game is the chemistry of the team. You know, they're playing your first time away from Philippines. You know, they don't really have that much of preparation time. Will that be something that affects how they are gonna approach this game today? You know, they also only has 3 players that have played at a really high level there. So experience is a question for them, as well as the X factor. And you said before the game, James McGill, not a player you know a ton of about. But, you know, he's looking to bring an X factor to this team here today.
Yeah, that's right. That's Jameel McGill from Sanzar. But on the other side for Shawarma Shack, we talked about Mike Harry Zuzu. The question here is, how will he and Ken Bono work together as the 2 bigs of the team?
Yeah, you know, and one of them has got to stretch the floor, or good movement from the players will be required, you know, if the spacing aspect is not there. The other thing is the depth, you know, aside from these players here, you know, Zuzu, Mike Harry, you know, Ken Bono, who is going to step up in the lack of contributions here?
You also mentioned the recovery time and the lack of preparation in terms of just getting acclimated to the different surroundings. I myself just flew in to Kuala Lumpur yesterday, and I had a hard time just getting myself reacquainted with everything. What more, some of these teams who arrived as late as this morning or very, very late last night, I can imagine the stress on their bodies.
Yeah, but you can see here on the screen, here's your full list of players there for Sanzar Pharmaceuticals. And you can see the world import highlighted by the asterisk next to the name, Hamadou Laminu, a 6'10" power forward / center that plays for Sanzar Pharmaceuticals, looking to provide that interior presence for the team.
That's right. Laminu not yet here because of travel issues, so he's expected to join the team in a couple of days. Meanwhile, here's the lineup for Shawarma Shack Philippines, helmed by Raymond Valenzona. He's their head coach, and this team has an average age of around 31, 32 years old. So these guys have been around. These guys know what the game is all about. But again, one of the hidden factors here is really how travel is going to affect some of them. I actually saw them at breakfast this morning, Meng, and some of them were raring to go. Others were still trying to shake off the sand from their eyes, so to speak.
I mean, yeah, you know, traveling is always a tough thing that, players have to face, especially competing in one of the international tournaments. Like we talked about the keys to the game. Will this team be able to shake off that international jet lag and perform well in this game here today?
We're moments away from tip-off. We're supposed to get a report from the 3rd member of our broadcast team, Kimberly Mas, but we'll hear from her in a bit. Right now, you're looking at the huddle of Shawarma Shack, looking through their final plans before tip-off. Our officials also ready for the opening tip with about a minute to go. So the entire crew, our officiating crew, is actually already set here.
Yeah, I'm sure everyone here, you know, everyone at the venue, they've been preparing for this tournament for a very long time, and I bet they are all very excited as us to get this tournament started here, the first game of the tournament.
Yes, it is the first game of our tournament. There's actually going to be another game happening at 7 p.m., which you can catch live on the Filbasket or AsiaBasket YouTube channel. You can search either name. We do go live, and you can watch these games on demand if, in case you have to go be with family or in case you have to go prepare yourself some dinner. That's totally fine. Either way, we'd love for you to be part of the experience. Please make sure you tag us on our social media accounts as well. We are everywhere from Facebook to Instagram to TikTok. It's at Filbasket or AsiaBasket as you look at head coach Jemuel Gikan of Sanzar Pharmaceuticals. He's at the helm for the white shirts.
Yes, Jemuel Gikan told us a funny story about, his his real name or actual name being used in the team roster, and the players not even recognizing that he was the one that was going to coach the team. But one very interesting relation there, Juvo Gikan or Koko Gikan is his relative, a brother of the head coach.
That's right. So number 8, Kokoy Gikan, the brother of the coach, also has some college experience. He played for Colegio Santa Monica in the National Capital Region Athletic Association some years ago. So it should be fun to take note of how these dynamics go when you have a family member who's at the helm of your team. It's kind of like all those jokes from when Doc Rivers acquired Austin Rivers in the LA Clippers, if you remember that.
Of course. Yeah, I do remember that. You know, there were always news articles popping up about how, you know, playing time and politics and stuff. But
at this point, let's send it down to our venue announcer, Ken Pangilinan, for the introduction of the starting 5. As the starting lineup is being announced, let's read them out for you here. Representing Sanzar in the starting 5. In the backcourt, you've got Louis Lanzar and Shaq Alanes. The forwards are Maya Taladua, Enrique Maurilio, and Eugene Madera, the man in the middle. Meanwhile, for Shawarma Shack, you've got Nicky Monteclaro and Neki Riferal. At the guards, the forwards are RJ Delis and former UAAP MVP Ken Bono. And you've got Mike Harry Zuzu, the man in the middle. Meanwhile, our referees are Yong Wai Chong, Nelson Cham, and Hep Kim Wai. Nelson Chan, the crew chief for this afternoon's matchup.
Yes, and you know, Stan, one thing that I've noticed here for the Sanzar Pharmaceuticals, not a lot of size in the starting lineup here. And they might struggle to contain the size of Bono and Zuzu.
That's right. Zuzu 6'6". I actually was wondering this morning how he would fit in our accommodations because like I kind of sympathize with him because he's a big dude. He does need his rest. And Ken Bono, you can say the same for him. He's a good 6'4". Don't let that stocky frame fool you. He's got that game that graces with age.
Yeah, you know, a stretch power 4, really fitting in well with this generation of basketball here.
And just seconds into the opening tip, a bit of confusion here. Our officials trying to sort it out as we figure out who gets first possession.
It will be the Sanzar Pharmaceuticals who come up with it.
Alanes looking to throw it in. Madera with a give and go to Alanes, who tries to draw first blood, and there's Zuzu already controlling the paint.
Yeah, you know, first possession jitters there, you know, just got up in the air too easily there, the defender.
Meanwhile, the blue shirts, Shawarma Shack, haven't really had a chance to practice as Zuzu draws the whistle right there.
But a good first play there, drawing a foul immediately off the high-low action. We talked about this. How are they going to both coexist on the court at the same time? But look at this, a great pass by Bono straight into Zuzu's hand, and there's no chance but for Sanzar to foul him.
14 seconds on the shot clock as Deles looking for a target finds Zuzu, and he wants to make an impact already. And that's the second whistle he's drawn.
Yeah, Zuzu just looking to be ultra, uber aggressive here out of the gate, drawing his second foul in less than 30 seconds here.
Two quick team fouls here for Sanzar. Not a good start because that just inches you closer and closer to the bonus with so much time left in the first quarter.
And it does look like the Shawarma Shack are trying to pound it inside the paint, you know, considering the ease Mike Harry Zuzu has been able to get the ball inside so far.
Zuzu, who's represented the Philippines in FIBA 3x3 competition, as well as having played in some of our professional leagues back home, no good on those freebies. Meanwhile, Sanzar trying to take advantage of that missed opportunity from Zuzu at the line. Alanes trying to set things up here. And it's interesting to see Zuzu gravitating towards Alanes, but there's a turnover. Shawarma Shack is running. Monteclaro losing it right there, and it's getting feisty already. That's the type of action you want to see. 13 on the shot clock here. Ken Bono from outside. Almost coming off the elbow of Zuzu right there. And Sanzar also wants to run, but Murillo almost loses it. Great recovery from him. 15 on the shot clock. More than enough time here for Sanzar. And you're right, Meng. There is a little bit of pre-game jitters. You can kind of see it in the body language of both squads. Taladua throws it up.
No pre-game jitters for Taladua right there. But, you know, as you said, they're using a leaning ball here. Not your typical FIBA molten ball. So there might be a little bit of adjustments needed to be made by the players.
Interesting observation right there because, yeah, you're right. Sometimes even just the texture of the ball could affect the very way that you handle it as Alanes draws a foul driving to the rack.
And that might be the reason why Mike Zuzu missed 2 free throws earlier. But this time, you know, the ball won't matter in this case. You know, using his wits to draw a foul right there. That draw through, that pickup, earning him 2 free throws.
Clear contact from Nicky De Farial right there as Alanes lines it up.
Shaq Alanes is one of the key players on this team. You know, he wants to drive to the basket all the time. A good example there of how he uses his drives to his advantage.
Alanes going 2 for 2 from the stripe. So it's both him and Taladua who've made their first baskets. They're actually former teammates in the PBA 3x3. But of course, 5-on-5 basketball, a different monster as Alanes on the fast break goes through the outstretched arms of Mike Zuzu.
Yeah, Shawarma Shack just being careless with the ball there, and Alanes made him pay.
Meanwhile, here's Ken Bono playing some bully ball. And here's Sanzar trying to use the speed against Bono. 16 on the shot clock as you can hear the coaching staff all the way from here. That jumper is good from Taladua.
Oh, Taladua with the immediate shot. No hesitation on that three.
Quick trigger, 5 points for him already. Bit of a miscommunication there, but that could just very well be an opportunity. Can Bono block from behind? Get that weak stuff out of here. Monteclaro with a swipe, and he's got numbers.
That was a 4-on-1 break there, and number 6 decided to go of it at his own.
Meanwhile, Shaq Alanes getting an N1 opportunity, increasing Sanzar's lead right here.
Yeah, RJ Dallas was signaling to the ref that he went straight up there, but the bump in the air was enough to convince the referee on a call. Sanzar Pharmaceuticals going out to a big lead here at the start of the game.
Huge lead right off the gate, that's right. 10-point advantage here for Sanzar as Alanes and Taladua just dominating early on. But it's a long game. We're only 3 minutes into it. Look how feisty Alanes is trying to pick the ball away from Monteclaro.
Yeah, for sure. Necky's got to be careful there.
Nicky Monteclaro off the glass. Nice kiss. Those floaters and those running mid-rangers really working to his advantage right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Shaq Alanes is feeling it, and you can see that Shawarma Shack wants to talk things over. We're going to take our first timeout. 6:35 remaining here in the first. We are just kicking things off in the 2023 AsiaBasket International Tournament. Welcome back to the 2023 AsiaBasket Kuala Lumpur. 6:35 remaining here in the first. Sanzar off to a hot start, 15-4. Shawarma Shack wanted to regroup quickly. And let's see if things change up here.
What stand out in the first quarter or the first 4 minutes so far? Shaq Alanis is 10 points.
And it looks like he's not about to stop anytime soon. Alanis at the top of the key goes back. That one no good for Alanis.
Yeah, just off right there, but he's been hot the whole game and he doesn't have the hesitation to pull the trigger.
Meanwhile, Shawarma Shack already had a quick substitution. They've brought in Julius Pascolado, trying to change things up. Meanwhile, for Sanzar, Art Dimas checking in for Rick Maurilio. 17 on the shot clock here for Shawarma Shack as RJ Deles looks to find a friend. Finds one outside, Zuzu calling for it. Zuzu just tumbling down low. Wow. And he's grabbing at his right knee. We hope that it's not too serious. Hope he just needs a nice little stretch. And he's able to walk it off.
But Sanzar Pharmaceuticals player there, number 12, Mia Taldua, I do believe.
No, I believe that's Madera.
Eugene Madera is struggling right now, and I would be struggling as well if a 6'6" physical specimen just, bulldozed his way into my chest.
So Madera's going to go down to the bench, clearly unable to get up on his own right now. Vixon Paimola checking in. You never want to see an injury, especially just minutes into any contest, whether that's a game or part of a tournament or an exhibition. Injury is just never good anywhere around. So we hope that it's something that he can eventually play through, something he can recover from. Yep,
definitely. Injuries are a big part of the game, and it's not something you enjoy to see.
Kokoy Gikan's also checked in for Sanzar. He's number 8. So it's a different look now for Sanzar. Undermatched in terms of size, but in terms of shooting ability, they seem to have the hot hand. Meanwhile, Zuzu on the break, yes!
And one of the ways to get easy points for the team is in the transition. They're forcing that turnover and getting out on the break.
Makes you wonder why they didn't go to this much sooner. Alanis, one of the remaining starters here for Sanzar, to Kokoy Gikan from long range, no. And Shawarma Shack, let's see if they can recreate what they did just now. Here's Monteclaro. Too much inside in the paint, and Zuzu dials from long distance, can't connect.
Oh. Zuzu was looking to dunk that home there.
Meanwhile, on the other end, here's Alanis trying to stabilize things for Sanzar. Alanis, high usage for now as Ken Bono tries to corral it, secures it. Here's Deles to Monteclaro on the outside. The bench is calling for it, and Zuzu draws another whistle.
Yeah, Zuzu just putting Shawarma Shack on his back right now. Everything good happening for the team has come from Mike Harry Zuzu. Using his hustle there to get to the ball first. And number 28 for Sanzar Pharmaceuticals, Vixen Paimola, is called for the foul.
It's really not surprising that Mike Zuzu's this active on the boards. He's the best defensive foreign player back in the NCAA Season 95, one of the top collegiate leagues in the Philippines, also a two-time member of the Mythical Five. So this is a guy who comes with a lot of pedigree and a lot of accolades heading into a stage like AsiaBasket.
You know, his energy as well reminds me of Kenneth Fareed from the NBA.
I'm sure the dreadlocks certainly help with that comparison.
No doubt.
Shawarma Shack hoping he can be a manimal of their own as they get another basket from Leo Esguerra this time.
And Shawarma Shack just getting buckets through their hustle right now. You know, not necessarily everything going right for them on the offensive end, but effort can help.
Definitely. It's the effort, it's the constant motion, just making sure that they are able to capitalize on whatever miscues they can save themselves from as a foul's drawn here.
I do think it will be an unsportsmanlike foul for Kokoi Gikan. Gonna need a replay on that one there. But they will turn the ball over.
It's going to be 2 shots at the line here for Monteclaro.
I do believe that the Shawarma Shack will get the possession as well after these free throws.
And this is going to be very crucial here. If Monteclaro makes both, there's potentially a 4-5 point swing on the line. Not good if you're Sanzar, despite being up by 6 at this point.
Yeah, you know, and it doesn't surprise me that they have given up the lead without their, you know, one of the key players, Shaq Alanes, off the floor.
Imagine that just moments after Alanes had to take a break. Sanzar finds themselves in this position. Don't let that lead fool you.
Yeah.
Monteclaro, a nice pump fake. He's wide open. Look at that hustle from Monteclaro. And that ball goes off Esguerra. It's going to be Sanzar possession.
Yeah, but it was a good sidestep there. Good patience from Monteclaro, who got him that open shot. And he just has got to knock it down. At this level, you've got to knock down an open shot.
4 minutes remaining here in the first. Although with everything that's happened, from the unfortunate injury to the unsportsmanlike foul, it feels like a pretty long first quarter, doesn't it, Meng?
It does, it does. Only 7 minutes gone. It definitely doesn't feel like 7 minutes.
Paimola calls for it at the free throw line, hits the back of the iron. And Shawarma Shack trying to go back to Monteclaro. He scored their first couple of buckets, trying to recreate that, but here's Deles from the outside.
Deles, one of the familiar names that I actually recognize on the Shawarma Shack team, knocking down the three-pointer from the wing.
RJ Deles actually played here in Malaysia last October. He averaged 8.3 points per game, 6.8 rebounds per game. Kind of modest, but his team didn't really fare very well in the last tournament, and he's hoping that things change here in AsiaBasket as Esguerra secures that defensive board.
Yeah, but that's a shooter you never want to leave open there, Maya Taladua.
Zuzu trying to bully his way inside. Good recovery from Esguerra, and he goes to the line for 2.
Once again, the second chance opportunity there, allowing the Shawarma Shack Pharmaceuticals to Shawarma Shack Pilipinas team to get more points on the board. These 2 free throws here might help them tie the game up at 15.
Rojo and Tomilioso checking in here for Shawarma Shack. Silky smooth free throw from Leo Esguerra, who went to college at Jose Rizal University. Only 29.
29, still a young age. That's my age as well, 29.
Going 1 for 2 there. And Sanzar, they don't want to waste time here. .14 on the shot clock as they try to find their way down low. Shawarma Shack's bigs, Mike Zuzu and Ken Bono, no longer on the floor, and yet they were able to hold down the interior. Sanzar unable to penetrate on that last possession. That's going to be a 3-pointer, and Shawarma Shack is now in the lead after that Pascolado 3-pointer.
Yeah, it was a nice kick-out pass by Billy Rojo there, looking for his teammate. The pass was a little bit soft, but he somehow got the ball there, and Rojo with a great shot in front of the defense.
How things quickly change in the game of basketball. Always a beautiful shot to see as we take a look at that drive of the game from Mike Harry Zuzu. But the rest of Shawarma Shack, they've been stepping up, and that last go-ahead 3-pointer hopefully can spell the difference between a team gaining momentum and a team just losing it. Shawarma Shack has a very slim lead right now.
Yeah, the TFB, a 3-point shot of the game right there. lets Shawarma Shack their first lead in the game so far in the first game of the AsiaBasket International Tournament.
Shawarma Shack talking things over. And Sanzar, their primary goal right now is to make sure that this skid doesn't last any longer. They've got to stop the bleeding while they can. 2 minutes, 25 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Kit Aviso checks in for Shawarma Shack, number 64. One of the new faces we're getting to know right here in AsiaBasket as Obuyas goes through the defense. Almost lays it in, but Aviso corrals it.
Great drive there. Just needed a little bit of a softer touch.
Kit Aviso using the backboard.
Yeah, he thought about the mid-range jumper, but you know, if there's an open lane to the rim, why not?
Sanzar now taking advantage of Rojo taking a quick tumble right there. 14 on the shot clock. Aviso almost started a fast break. That's going to be a foul, and it will be called against Hiro Tomilioso.
And that would be a blocking foul right there on Tomilioso. Third team foul for Sanzar Pharmaceuticals.
Couple of substitutions here. Eugene Madera, who got injured earlier, seems to be ready to get back in there, so that's a good sign.
It is a good sign.
Yuki Kawamura also checking in for Sanzar, not to be confused with Yuki Kawamura of the Japanese national team. This Yuki Kawamura is actually Filipino-Japanese.
Half-half, I see.
Sanzar with the offensive rebound as Alanes tries to set things up. He got a couple minutes of rest.
Alanes was double teamed there as he was pushed out of bounds, but the ball will stay with the Sanzar Pharmaceuticals team.
And that's the second foul for Tomilioso. Two quick ones. He hasn't even been in the game for a minute and a half.
Yeah. Well, Alanes there really sold the foul well there though.
That's going to be a long ranger, kind of short.
Oh.
Cleanup duty. Could have gone well for Dimas.
I've just noticed this though. Dimas has really long arms for a guy his size.
Very deceptive length for Art Dimas. Only 6'3", but that wingspan definitely coming in handy.
For sure. Someone needs to get a measuring tape out.
Alanes on the outside. That one hits the backboard as Bono gets the rebound. They're running here. Esguerra loses it. Nice defense by Kokoy Gikan. Here's Sanzar. Alanes from distance. Still no good. He's gone cold. Aviso now controlling things for Shawarma Shack.
Yeah, you can see Shawarma Shack was happy to allow Alanes to take that open three-pointer in the corner.
Ooh. Nice no-look dish from Aviso. Give him the assist. That's going to be an end-one opportunity for Leo Esguerra.
Yeah, great no-look pass there. Finding Leo Esguerra left wide open inside the paint. You can see right here. No-look pass inside and too little too late on that foul right there as he makes the bucket and earn himself with one more free throw.
I didn't know Josh Giddey made the trip to Kuala Lumpur, but here we are.
Hey, there you go. He played in last season's Filbasket tournament as well, and he impressed as one of the bench mobs that came off the bench.
Less than a minute remaining here in the first as Shawarma Shack gives up that foul. That's going to be on Pascolado.
Yeah, Alanes again really wily with the foul calls. Both teams in the bonus right now, and that will mean Alanes will go to the line for a free throw.
Couple of substitutions here. Rick Maurilio checking in for Art Dimas. Alanes already in double digits here, trying to extend his output early on.
Stan, he had 10 in like the first 4 minutes or so.
Kind of went on a cold streak for the last few possessions, but he seems to be compensating for it right now.
Yeah, after he went to the bench, he started out a little bit slow coming onto the court. Got his first 2 points there. We'll see what he comes up with.
Here's Billy Rojo The Pascolado down low to Esguerra.
Great ball movement by the Shawarma Shack team right there. Once again finding Esguerra, who seems to be the recipient of a lot of these.
We said that this tournament was a sprint, Meng, but the way that Shawarma Shack seems to be approaching this game, it's like a marathon. They went on a slow start, but they seem to have recovered, and now they've got a nice 6-point lead with 10 seconds remaining. Here's Aviso with another bucket. That's 4.
Yeah, a nice touchdown pass there by Ken Bono, though. He was pressured, but still managed to find his teammate there, and 0.3 seconds left on the clock.
0.3 of a second, barely enough to throw it up. Let's see what Yuki Kawamura can do here as he throws it in. He's got a couple of targets. Alanes shakes himself free, but definitely not enough time, and that's the end of the first. Shawarma Shack came from behind. They were down by 10. Now they're up by 8 at the end of the first quarter, 25-17. We'll be right back in a bit. You're watching the 2023 AsiaBasket Kuala Lumpur. One quarter's elapsed here at the 2023 AsiaBasket Kuala Lumpur, and Shawarma Shack is now up by 8. They went on a 21-2 run to end the first quarter. Another three-pointer here. They thought they could extend that run. Well, they could still do so, but on defense.
Yeah, of course, playing good defense is the way to extend the run, but...
Speaking of defense, Aviso's running. He's got numbers. Ken Bono inside. No good. And he's just not scratching his head. What can you do, right?
Man, definitely a Shaq-ing-a-fool moment right there.
15 on the shot clock for Sanzar, who hasn't made a field goal since those Shaq Alanes free throws. Their fortune's still not changing. Here's Rojo. He's got Pascolado on the other side, but Rojo unafraid of the trees.
Wow, a great layup right there on the fast break by Billy Rojo, tricking his defender and then extending for the finish right there.
Billy Rojo acting like a bull, treating that Matador defense like he was seeing red.
And here's the interesting thing from the first quarter stats, Stan. Sanzar Pharmaceuticals had the lead for 6 minutes and 17 seconds of the first half, but gave up the lead and gave it up big. Went on a 21-2 run, did Shawarma Shack.
But in the words of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, it doesn't matter how long that lead lasted, because Shawarma Shack just went on a run that negated it.
Nah, for sure. Basketball is a game of runs here.
Kokoy Gikan missing that three off the basket. Or off the back of the rim, rather. Air ball there for Kit Aviso.
Yeah, too strong, too eager there by Kit Aviso.
Here's Gikan, found himself open, made the extra pass, but Zuzu just raising his hands up, forming a wall, and now grabbing that rebound off that Gikan miss.
And that's the interior presence Mike Zuzu brings to the team right there.
Zuzu and Bono, your two bigs for Shawarma Shack, and there's Bono making up for that missed layup earlier. This time, drills a rainbow.
Yeah, for sure. He might make these three-point shots easier than he makes layups there on the fast break.
And that's something Ken Bono has been known for ever since his college days at Adamson University. He's actually a UAAP MVP, and that's the top collegiate league in the Philippines, as Rojo lines it up from distance.
With a defender rushing into him as well. Eugene Madera had his hands up, trying to close the shot down.
5 letters for Billy Rojo, IDGAF.
Exactly.
Sanzar still hasn't made a field goal. Quite a drought for them since those Shaq Alanis free throws, and Rick Maurilio just lets that ball go out of bounds.
And a good timeout here, I reckon, by Sanzar Pharmaceuticals.
They're going to have to regroup. They're going to have to talk things over. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back with more from the 2023 AsiaBasket Kuala Lumpur. .750 remaining here in the first half. Shawarma Shack's run is at 28-2. Let that sink in for a bit.
They haven't scored a point since they came out in the second quarter.
Here's Ken Bono with another 3.
I said that 2 consecutive threes for Ken Bono, and he's knocking down these long-range shots better than he's finishing in transition.
This is quite the run that Shawarma Shack has been on. Unprecedented in Filbasket in our very short, admittedly, existence up to date. But still, runs like this don't happen quite that often.
No, you know, what? This is a 34-2 run now. And that's just impressive. They've scored. They've just outdone themselves. They were a completely different team from when they started the game.
Absolutely. And again, we're only in the second quarter with 7:26 remaining.
Yeah.
It's like the team that entered during tip-off quickly evolved.
Oh yeah, definitely. You know, and you know, like you said in the break just now, maybe they were just reminded. You know, we are a good team. What is this? Why are we lagging behind?
It's a 31-2 run again.
31-2.
Just to remind everybody of the, dare I say, absurdity of the run.
Man, 31-2.
12 on the shot clock here for Sanzar. They want to end that run so we can stop talking about it as Taladua spins. But he's got some formidable defense. Lucky bounce going his way though.
Yeah, great soft touch there. Shooter's touch from Taladua.
And that's going to be a turnover for Shawarma Shack. RJ Delis not in position to get that.
RJ Delis seeing his first action in the second quarter here. But that pass just out of his reach.
Here's Alanis trying to make things right for Sanzar. He's got Taladua with him. They know each other pretty well. Taladua going off of that Madera screen.
Man, never go under a screen against Taladua. How will they learn?
Quick 5-0 run here for Sanzar. Let's see if Shawarma Shack can stop it. Sanzar with a recovery, fast break opportunity. They've got numbers. Alanis, yes!
There you go, basketball. Game of runs here. Sanzar making their own run now, an 8-0 run.
It's like somebody from the Sanzar bench heard what we had to say and felt like they needed to step it up.
And that will be an out of bounds called by the referee there. Pasculado slipping on the floor, but will step out of bounds before the foul is committed.
Let's take a look at what took place there. Yes, slippery floor, probably from the sweat. It is quite the humid day in Kuala Lumpur.
I mean, Malaysia is always known for the humid weather, hot and humid.
Hey, you're talking to a Filipino. I know all about that. So coming over here in terms of weather, it's not necessarily a vacation. But we're here for work. Let's get to work. As Maya Taladua goes to work, trying to break the ankles of Mike Zuzu over there. Madera blocked by Bono. 8 seconds. Alanes long three. Yes. Heat check for Shaq Alanes. He's got 18.
Oh yes, definitely 2 consecutive threes for Shaq Alanes right now, and he's refining his rhythm that he lost.
And you can hear the coaches on both ends really trying to make sure their messages are heard as Ken Bono sends himself to the line off that end one.
And this was one of the points that I brought up as we found out, as we realized what the starting lineups were. Ken Bono bullying his defender out of the way inside the paint there, getting the easy 2 and free throw.
And this is something you brought up earlier, Meng, that Shawarma Shack has the height advantage over Sanzar, and Ken Bono, despite the stocky frame, you can't teach size,
no.
Right? And that's something he knows how to use very well. He can be deceptive about it, but don't underestimate the likes of Ken Bono.
Yeah, and you know, Sanzar Pharmaceuticals definitely missing their big man Hamadou Laminu right now.
Meanwhile, Zuzu on the defensive end of the court, always looking to make a statement as Nicky Monteclaro finishes that fast break, goes to the line.
Too easy there, baiting the foul from Taladua, and then finishing with his left hand there. As we can take a look at the replay, he had a 4-on-2 break. He knew what he was doing there as he rose up, absorbed that contact, and then kissing the glass as he made that layup.
Nicky Monteclaro from Butuan City trying to finish that end one play. Butuan City, that's way down south in the Philippines.
Way down south in the Philippines.
.13 game right now. Sanzar wants to reduce that deficit heading into halftime. Lest they hear some colorful language from ownership and management at the break. Alanis way off. Meanwhile, here's Monteclaro. To RJ Del's on the outside. Nice pass to Ken Bono.
Yeah, Ken Bono definitely making up for that miss earlier in the first quarter. He's hit 10 points, the first player from Shawarma Shack to hit double digits here.
Shawarma Shack trying to confuse everyone with their ball movement as Ken Bono is now in double digits. Alanes wide open. Yes! That's 21.
Man, yet another long three-pointer from Shaq Alanes, but his teammates got to step up here if they want to cut into this lead.
His more well-known namesake, of course, more known for his interior game, so to hear someone named Shaq shoot it from the outside, quite unusual, isn't it?
No, definitely not.
Meanwhile, second chance opportunity for Shawarma Shack as Zuzu goes to the line for a couple of shots at the charity stripe.
This is an interesting pairing here, you know, Bono and Mike Harry Zuzu, because Bono obviously can stretch the floor. So stretching the floor is not a problem. Spacing is not a problem when both of them are on the court. But what I like from this is when Mike Zuzu spaces, you know, extends his game to the outside line, he can knock down the three-pointer. We've seen him take that three-pointer, but he is not afraid to attack into a crowd as well.
Ken Bono trying to make something happen. Zuzu's actually calling for an alley-oop pass earlier, and now it's like they're playing volleyball down low as Sanzar secures it. Taladua going up. Whoa, fools us with a pass. Alanes for three. Yes!
Wow.
24 points for Shaq Alanes, and just like that, the deficit is at 9.
Man, Shaq Alanes so patient there on that transition tree.
Monteclaro coming up short. Sanzar fighting and scrapping down low. And look who's got it. Artrivas down low.
What a pass right there by Taladua. Fell into the floor, but still managed to find that outlet pass straight to Alanes, and a 2-on-1 break against Ken Bono. Sanzar will always win that one.
And there seems to be an injury on the floor right now. So that's going to be on Shawarma Shack. On Shawarma Shack's end, rather. Guevara, who just checked in.
Yeah. Just seeing his first minutes, and he's already struggled.
We're going to take a quick break. When we return, the last 3 minutes and 10 seconds of the first half. Back to the action here at the 2023 AsiaBasket Kuala Lumpur. 3 minutes and 10 seconds remaining here in the first half. It's been a game of runs. Sanzar, although down by 7, has been impressive thanks to one Shaq Alanes. 5 of 9 from downtown, 24 points already as the Blue Shirts draw a whistle.
Yeah, Alanes and Taladua, the 1-2 punch for Sanzar Pharmaceuticals, bringing them back into the game, bringing them back within 7 points. As you can see on the screen here,
there's a foul. There's a whistle, and that's going to go against Sanzar. It's going to go against Moradas.
And Sanzar Pharmaceuticals already in the bonus here with 3 minutes left in the first half, as RJ Dallas, I believe, will go to the line for 2 free throws.
First shot is good for 30-year-old RJ Delis. No stranger to these grounds, the Maba Stadium, AsiaBasket or Filbasket. And he goes 2 for 2, and it's a double-digit game. He'll make that 45-36. It's a 9-point game.
Shawarma Shack trying to get onto a lead of their own.
Alanes with another heat check bucket. 10 seconds remaining. It seems like they were a bit confused there on the second chance opportunity, and Shaq Alanes with another 3-point play opportunity.
Man, I tell you what, the foul drawing capabilities of Shaq Alanes is so veteran-like, you know. It reminds me of a little bit of James Harden. You could see there he brought his hands up into RJ Dallas's body right there. And, you know, the referee had no choice but to call a foul.
In the hang time, you have to take note of that. You know, we Filipinos, our genetics are not exactly advantageous in the game of basketball. But when you see a Shaq Alanes do what he does on the floor, that hang time, the control to hit that lefty off the glass, it's impressive. 27 for Shaq Alanes. That's where we're at. 2 minutes 30 remaining here in the half. Zuzu loses it. Fast break opportunity. And that's going to be good for Moradas.
Taladua with a nice find again on the transition there. Get his teammates easy 2 points.
And those outlet passes really crucial for a team like Sanzar, who wants to take advantage of the momentum. Zuzu no good there, but he's going to get 2 chances for the free throws.
Yeah, you know, once you allow Zuzu to get a head of steam going to the basket, it doesn't matter if there's 1 guy, 2 guys, 3 guys at the basket, he's just going to power through the contact.
Billy Rojo checking in for Nicky Monteclaro, and he was actually a crucial part of that big Shawarma Shack run earlier in the first quarter.
And Mike Zuzu not enjoying his free throw trip so far. Missed 2 earlier in the game and just missed that one right there.
And it looks like what you said, Meng, just didn't help the case at all for Mike Zuzu. Another goose egg at the charity stripe, something he might want to work on after the half. Alanis going for 30, yes!
Man. You know, we talk about seeing a show, and this guy, Shaq Alanis, putting on a show for us here.
Absolutely, it's the Shaq Alanis show. 30 points out of Sanzar's 44. It's a 1-point game. That's going to be a 3-pointer to quiet the Shawarma Shack side.
Yeah, both teams warming up now that the game has entered the second quarter. Billy Rojo finding the bucket from range.
He's got 8. Meanwhile, Alanis, let's see what he does here. Will he try to score again, or will he let another member of Sanzar put themselves on the board? 5 seconds on the shot clock. Taladua from distance. Esguerra loses that one. Referees say it went off of Dimas.
Yeah, lots of hands there. Elma Morada's got the deflection on that last, well, got the last touch there on the deflection.
A minute remaining here in the first half. It's a 4-point game. And Shawarma Shack earlier looked like they were about to have a blowout on their hands, but that's when Shaq Alanis heated up and said, "No, sir, I'm not done just yet." Aviso, he's got 4 to Zuzu down low.
And man, you know, this guy doesn't just look like Josh Giddey. His playing style reminds me of that as well. Fancy passes, finding his teammate. This time, Mike Zuzu. And a great look there, Billy Rojo.
And he's in double digits as well. Several of the Shawarma Shack players in double digits already. Billy Rojo and Ken Bona being among them. 10 seconds remaining here in the half. Alanis gets Zuzu now. And Zuzu getting physical. He gets called for a foul.
Shaq Alanis there hooking onto Zuzu, but I don't think the referee caught that one there, as the contact from Zuzu convinced the referee to call a blocking foul first on Mike.
13 foul there for Shawarma Shack, so no free throws just yet for Sanzar. 7.5 ticks remaining. Alanis is going to be inbounding. Taladua and Dimas want it, giving it back to Alanis. Passes it to Moradas from the outside. That's no good. And after a mad scramble, the first half comes to a close. Shawarma Shack up by 8, scores 52 to 44. But the key story of the game here, Shaq Alanis already with 30 points.
Man, you know, it's been the Alanis show. You know, we expected to see a show here, but I just didn't expect to see a Shaq show, you know. I did not expect to see Shaq performing here in the Maba Stadium, Kuala Lumpur. And Sanzar Pharmaceuticals is putting up a good game for us here.
Most definitely. We're going to regroup, and when we come back, we'll recap the highlights of the first half. This is the 2023 AsiaBasket Kuala Lumpur.
开心的快疯了，你从不计较服务好的很荒谬，有你在撑腰，幸福的快炸掉，大声炫耀，要高峰，去天峰，要高峰 ，TFBO。最快速的方式，快乐出手就得到，满满的安全感，幸福在转角。烦恼不见了，开心的快疯了，你从不计较，服务好的很荒谬，有你在撑腰，幸福的快炸掉，大声炫耀，要高峰，去天峰，要高峰 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 TFBO。最快速的方式，快乐出手就得到，满满的安全感，幸福在转角。烦恼不见了，开心的快疯了，你从不计较，服务好的很荒谬，有你在撑腰，幸福的快炸掉，大声炫耀，要高峰，去天峰，要高峰 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 TFBO。 了，开心的快疯了，你从不计较，服务好的很荒谬，有你在重要，幸福的快炸掉，大声炫耀，要高峰，去天峰，要高峰 ，TFBO。最快速的方式，快乐出手就得到，满满的安全感，幸福在转角。烦恼不见了，开心的快疯了，你从不计较，服务好的很荒谬，有你在重要，幸福的快炸掉，大声炫耀，要高峰，去天峰，要高峰 ，TFBO。
flamethrower for Sanzar Pharmaceutical. 1 minute 53 remaining before we resume with the action. But first, 52-44, that's the score, Meng.
Yeah, you know, this has been a very interesting game, but the stat that stands out to me the most is the 52% shooting by the Shawarma Shack Pilipinas. Sanzar Pharmaceuticals has not done a good job of defending them, especially inside the 2-point line. The Shawarma Shack Pilipinas team is shooting 63.6% inside the paint, as well as having 8 players already scored for that team. Sanzar Pharmaceuticals, on the other hand, has relied on the contributions of Shaq Alanes as well as Jeremiah Talalua to score most of the points, with only 2 other players having scored 2 points.
That's actually the interesting bit coming from Sanzar right now, because for as much as Alanes' 30-point game so far is definitely worth celebrating, the fact that only Maya Taladua, Art Dimas, and Moradas are the only ones in a white jersey who've scored could be alarming for Sanzar's coaching staff.
Yeah, you know, and you know, referring back to the pre-game keys to the game, we were talking about. So we were wondering where will the scoring come from for the Shawarma Shack Pilipinas once their starters sit. But it seems like they have contributed with 24. The bench has contributed with 24 points of their own, and instead it's Sanzar Pharmaceuticals that is struggling in the scoring column.
Meanwhile, on the other side, you've got Coach Raymond Valenzona for Shawarma Shack, who's from where we could see, telling his team in the huddle to just make sure that they control the pace of the game, because that's where they excelled earlier. They went on that 31-2 run sometime between the first and second quarters. So if they can find that groove and keep Sanzar within arm's length, then they might pull away with the win here.
Well, here's something interesting here that I've noticed about the players that have just walked onto the court. Alanes is not in the Sanzar lineup at the moment, so if Shawarma Shack really wants to take control of the game, they have to do it, or they could try to do it now.
We're seeing a new player suit up for Sanzar here. His name is Jamil McGill. He's number 30. That nice pass down low. McGill, as that free throw line jumper goes off base for Sanzar. McGill is actually a Filipino-American based in LA, and he's hoping that AsiaBasket could put him on the radar to get him more opportunities to play on our side of the world.
Oh, very interesting there. Next factor for the Sanzar Pharmaceuticals team, McGill. But there will be a foul there on the floor with Dimas getting a little bit too handsy there on defense.
14-second shot clock here for Shawarma Shack as Aviso looks to find someone to give it to. Pascolado there taking it from him. Bono trying to set a screen. Rojo and Esguerra joining them as the 5 on the floor.
Oh, that was a great defense there, but a push. The referee seemed to have deemed that the Sanzar Pharmaceuticals team has pushed Pascolado out of bounds. And once again, 2 quick fouls to start the half.
And this has been a recurring pattern here for both teams. Another substitution here for Sanzar Pharmaceuticals. Vic Paimola checking in. 8 seconds to go here on the shot clock. Bono not getting enough height on that one. And Bono just outnumbered down low as Dimas secures it.
Yeah, his big body really lets him dominate the post.
Meanwhile, Miguel hangs, misses. And Rojo trying to make sure he secures possession, and after that scramble, he does. On the left corner, Aviso, nice pass, but Esguerra is outnumbered. Miguel now running the break. Kawamura from 3, no. But Miguel gets the second chance opportunity.
Just the right place at the right time there, McGill.
Ramil McGill, his first basket in AsiaBasket. 11 on the shot clock as Ken Bono looking for points 11, 12, and 13, but can't find them.
Just a little bit off there by Ken Bono, perhaps disrupted by the length of our Dimas.
Gikan up top. That's deep. Yes!
Hello.
Right from range, Kokoy Gikan. Meanwhile, Shawarma Shack has been attacking the paint the last few possessions. To no success though, as Gikan lines it up again. No! Billy Rojo almost stepping out of bounds, and now he's running. Dimas caught napping on defense. Ken Bono can't do it. Still unsuccessful. But at least he goes to the line, and Ken Bono's body language says so much.
Yep. Just struggling to score from down below there. Art Dimas also frustrated with the foul there, saying he did all he could to stay upright.
Ken Bono at the line. He's actually making his return to AsiaBasket because he was first affiliated with Filbasket in late 2021 in the inaugural championship. That was in Subic over in the Philippines. So it's his first action back in quite some time for this league. In the year since, he's actually reappeared in the PBA, albeit in its 3x3 division.
And his game really suits that. You know, like you said earlier, Stan, his game really suits the current game now, you know, being a stretch four, also being able to punish players if a mismatch presents itself.
But Bono unable to convert those free throws. That could very well hurt Shawarma Shack late in the game as Kawamura misses that three. Bono with the board. Here's Rojo. He's got a viso. Esguerra, nice pass. Monteclaro thought about it though. Back to Esguerra inside. Yes!
Ooh. Great pick and roll there, and his point guard definitely found Esguerro there. Esguerro, an athletic forward, taking it all the way to the rim. Entry pass just a little bit too high there, but Esguerro says no problem.
Both Billy Rojo and Nicky Monteclaro, these guys are both playmakers, so that's an advantage right here for Shawarma Shack. They don't have Zuzu on the floor right now, which probably allows them to have a little bit more spacing and a little bit more playmaking.
For sure, and Vixen Paimola from the Sanzar Pharmaceuticals has got to be careful now. He earned his fourth foul with that one right there.
Esguerra good for that three-point play opportunity as Kawamura prevented by Delis. Here's Kawamura trying again, way off. RJ Delis almost got clumsy with the ball there. 15 on the shot clock as Esguerra with the pick. Monteclaro for three. That's gonna go off of Rojo.
Yeah, great hustle there, allowing his team to regroup themselves. Not allowing a fast break transition opportunity to hurt them anymore. But Shawarma Shack starting slow again after a 15-minute rest at halftime.
It was an 8-point game at the half, and with about 6:32 remaining here in the third, Sanzar's put more points up on the board, just by a bit. Kawamura's hesitation kind of made it, almost was a mistake there. And there's going to be another whistle as both teams get extra feisty now that the game's gone on for a little over a half.
Yeah, and as the players have settled into the game, this game is getting a little bit more physical there. You know, Sanzar Pharmaceuticals played some hard-nosed defense early in the quarter, and as you can see, it shows in the number of fouls they have made. 5 team fouls already early in the quarter, and that will send RJ Delis to the free throw line.
And now every foul that Sanzar commits is going to result in a couple of freebies for Shawarma Shack.
So that's going to hurt them a little bit here in the third quarter. Got to play defense now without fouling. Easier said than done.
That's 2 for 2 for RJ Delis, who played for the College of St. Benilde Blazers. Coincidentally, the Benilde Blazers are actually part of this tournament as well. We're going to see them in action on Tuesday as Sanzar gets a bucket off the glass.
And it was McGill with the great drive inside that popped that up first.
15 on the shot clock here for Shawarma Shack. Delis trying to fool McGill. Nice pass to Bono on the outside. Bang!
There you go. Good things seem to happen when the ball finds its way to Ken Bono here outside the arc.
And Ken Bono just one board shy of a double-double. He's got 13 and 9 as Delis swoops in and gets that rebound. Bono back on the outside. He and Delis playing a bit of two-man action here. Delis trying to heat up, but he says, no, Ken, you've got the hot hand right now.
Bono.
Ken Bono! Gutsy attempt right there. Offensive rebound for Delis. And Shawarma Shack maintains possession. That foul's going to go against Sanzar Pharmaceuticals.
Was Ken Bono going for a fadeaway three-pointer there?
Trying to channel Dirk Nowitzki. I'm just not sure he had the right momentum. Maybe not the best idea as well. But when the shot clock's about to run out, sometimes you get desperate.
Yeah, you got to try what you got to do. Sometimes the basketball gods reward these attempts.
It's kind of like that Simpsons meme where Bart has that cake. At least you tried. 9 on the shot clock here for Shawarma Shack. Bono on the inside, draws a double team off the glass. That's 15 for Ken Bono. It's a team high.
Man, just too easy for Ken Bono, you know. If you can't stroke it from deep, just go down low and bully your way to the basket.
Meanwhile, Jamil McGill trying to use his elbows to get some room. Monte Claro, 2-on-1 fast break. Can't convert. And that's going to go off Gikan.
Yeah, that was a good defense, a good hustle by Kokoy Gikan to rush back into play there. Pressuring there. I thought he might have earned himself a foul right there, but referee says everything good.
Maya Taladua checking back in for Jamil McGill, and we missed this earlier, this opportunity to say that Shaq Alanis is actually back on the floor.
Oh, nice. Shaq Alanis and Taladua as well. Two main scorers.
7 seconds on the shot clock. Delis has to make a decision, and he finds Bono. One-on-one in the post. Double team. Bono, no good. Offensive rebound for Shawarma Shack. Delis telling his guys, trying to direct traffic. Gets the screen from Esguerra. Bono's wide open. Ooh. Third shot opportunity here as Monte Claro resets. 7 seconds for Monte Claro. He's got to move. Takes that three and goes right out of bounds. It's still Shawarma Shack ball.
He will get another chance here. I thought that Esguerra should have taken it all the way to the rim instead of kicking it out to Delis on the wing there.
That's 4 opportunities here for Shawarma Shack. Couple of substitutions for them. Mike Zuzu back in. Bono and Esguerra are out. Tomilioso joining Zuzu on the floor.
And here's an interesting thing. Head coach Raymond Valenzuela of Shawarma Shack just trying to stagger the minutes of Bono and Zuzu.
Which is a great idea as Monte Claro drills that three and extends the lead to 14 for Shawarma Shack. Dimas and Taladua, some pick and roll action here. Ooh. And that floater just drops in off the bounce.
Fancy Euro step there by Taladua.
Zuzu directing traffic, telling his teammates where to go. But Monte Claro has an idea, gets blocked.
Yeah, Mike Zuzu knew he wanted a pick and roll there with Monte Claro on the wing. But Monte Claro rejecting the screen, got blocked at the rim.
8 seconds remaining here. Delis inbounding. He's got Monte Claro, Zuzu, Tomilioso, and Rojo as targets. Finds Zuzu. Monte Claro's got 3 seconds. Zuzu for 3. No. Gikan with a defensive rebound. What an outlet pass to Alanis. And Zuzu knows his boy's got the hot hand. That's going to go out of bounds. It will stay with Sanzar.
Yeah, Hiro Tomilioso with the nice tap there to deflect the ball out of the hands of Alanes. And does enough there, but not enough to get possession.
16 on the shot clock here for Sanzar. Alanes hasn't scored yet in the first half. Best believe he'd want to change that, but Gikan gets called for the travel.
I do believe it's an out of bounds call there by Kokoi Gikan, stepping on the sideline.
Missed opportunity there for Sanzar to chip away at that lead. Got a lot of screens from Rojo, and Monteclaro receiving the same treatment from his bigs. Zuzu muscling his way inside. That shot was way off.
Zuzu hasn't been able to get anything inside going for himself on the offensive end so far.
Here's Sanzar down low. Taladua once again.
Taladua recognized the mismatch there down in the low post against Billy Rojo. And, you know, it's a good idea, wise idea to take it down low against him.
And Taladua tries to play like a big man, but he's a two guard at 5'10".
Now, I was going to say, Sanzar Pharmaceuticals have a lot of stocky guards.
Last 2 minutes here in the third quarter as Zuzu draws another foul. That's something he's actually done rather well in this contest.
Yeah, he has drawn fouls well, but he's got to knock it down. He's still 0 for 4 in the game so far from the charity stripe.
Couple of substitutions once again. Neki de Farials checking back in for Nicky Monteclaro. Mike Harry Zuzu from Cameroon was a student athlete at the Lyceum of the Philippines University, where he played in the mid-2010s as part of the NCAA. Ever since, he's been a fixture in Philippine basketball, appearing in leagues like the Chooks to Go Pilipinas Invitational. He's also represented the Philippines in FIBA competition, albeit in the 3x3.
He's still missing from his free throws, though, Mike Zuzu.
Here's Gikan, another deep three. He made one last quarter, but it seems like he hasn't found that shooting stroke. But Rojo can't find it either. Taladua with a big boy rebound, and he decides to take it up himself as Gikan lines it up one more time.
Still no good.
And Deles, I don't know if you've been noticing this, but he seems to be having a hard time just focusing on corralling the possession.
Yeah, you know, RJ Deles trying to slow down the game for his team.
Deles just might get that because he drew a whistle. So he's going to go to the line.
I do think that RJ Deles is just trying to prevent his team from falling into the pace of Sanzar Pharmaceuticals, who seems to enjoy running out on the break better in this second half.
RJ Deles at the line. And so far, RJ Deles hasn't missed, whether that's at the line or from three.
He hasn't taken a lot of shots, only 5 points in the game so far. Barely gets that one to go.
11-point lead here for Shawarma Shack with 1 minute and 12 remaining here in the third quarter. 6 for 6 at the line. That's RJ Deles.
Stays perfect shooting for the game.
Couple of new faces in here for Sanzar. Jello Buyas now in the ball game. So is Madera. Alanes being chased by the defense. Took way too much time admiring that gooseneck. That didn't go in.
Exactly, Alanes going right. You knew he was going to go to the step back there as he couldn't, you know, or he wanted to avoid going to the rim with his weaker right hand.
Substitution, Lugi Kawamura checking in.
Another substitution here for Coach General Gikan. Kawamura back in the game. Madera taking a seat. And this is another opportunity for Zuzu to right those wrongs at the free throw line.
First one made for Zuzu now. But
1 for 7.
Yeah, but Sanzar could maybe use this to their advantage. Hack a Zuzu.
Hack a Mike.
Hack a Mike.
Less than a minute remaining here in the third. Sanzar down 14, scores 69, nice, to 55. Kawamura curling off, looking for that three, but finds Taladua instead. Shakalanes thought about it. Back to Taladua. And Zuzu, what a rebound.
Yeah, nice relocation there by Mike Taladua, and Alanes found him in the corner.
6-second differential between shot clock and game clock as Monte Claro steps up for three. Zuzu with a putback.
Monte Claro lost his defender on that pick and roll there with Mike Zuzu. Could have knocked down the tree, but Mike Zuzu there with the cleanup.
6 seconds remaining here in the third. Alanes tried to make something happen, but instead that's going to be a foul. Refarial willingly giving it up, knowing they can chip away.
Yeah, just 5.1 seconds left, so might as well take the foul now. They haven't committed a foul so far in the third quarter yet.
Three-pointer here for Kawamura.
I do believe that's Kawamura's first tree or first shot made in the game so far.
And Sanzar's deficit is now at 13. 71-58, that's the score at the end of three. We'll be right back for the fourth quarter. You're watching the opening game of the 2023 AsiaBasket Kuala Lumpur. The Mamba Stadium is feeling the heat as we enter the fourth quarter of our opening game in the 2023 AsiaBasket Kuala Lumpur. Shawarma Shack up 13 against Sanzar Pharmaceutical. And it looks like we've got an unsportsmanlike foul.
Yeah, the foul will go on Monte Claro here. And Sanzar Pharmaceuticals earns themselves 2 chances at the free throw line and will get back possession after this as well.
And that's crucial, Meng, especially in a game where momentum has quite literally swung both ways.
Of course, Shawarma Shack started the third quarter slow again, allowing Sanzar to close the lead down to just about 3 points. But then Sanzar Pharmaceuticals coming back out Shawarma Shack coming back out to retake the lead by 13. Going into the fourth quarter.
And here's young Yuki Kawamura, who missed that first free throw. Only 21 years old.
Very young player, but he did hit that big three-pointer, fading three-pointer from the corner just as the third quarter ended there. Knocking down that free throw as well. And Sanzar will try a sideline inbounds play here.
Alanis looking for someone in the right position, finds Dimas, but you know Alanis is looking to shoot, trying to make up for a third quarter in which he went scoreless after dropping 30 on Shawarma Shack in the first half. Here's Taladua for three. Nice pass inside to Dimas. Oh! Zuzu sending the garbage out.
It did hit the board before that, we can see from our angle here, so it does remain to see what the referees call here. I do believe it will stay an out of bounds there because the ball had no chance to enter the rim right there.
But the question is, was it on its way down? Because if it was already entering the downward motion, then that's a goaltend, and that's what our officials are trying to decide at the moment.
I do think they will go to the instant replay system, if I'm not wrong. But a monster swat right there by Mike Zuzu, coming out of nowhere to get that out of bounds.
Man's got hops.
Yeah, he does. A true rim protector there for the Shawarma Shack Pilipinas team.
So that's not a goaltend. Sanzar's got 2 seconds on the shot clock. Whereas Alan is going to throw it in. Finds Moradas for three. And that definitely went out of bounds.
Definitely went out of bounds there. Moradas did not have a lot of time to fire off that shot. And he was forced to do so as he maybe not in the best position for him to fire off.
Really unfortunate sequence of events for Sanzar, who could have had as much as a 5-point swing there. Instead, they only scored one. Kawamura gets the rebound. Got to be careful though because he had Zuzu right behind him. Alanis finds Moradas. He's back to Alanis. And Shawarma Shack's already figured out Alanis' tendencies. Clearly, they've been able to limit his production here in the second half.
And it does seem like Shawarma Shack is trying to aggressively double Alanis on a pick and roll, especially if the secondary defender is Mike Zuzu, as you can see here.
Both Zuzu and Farial double teaming Alanis. And it seems like Zuzu's height has actually gotten in the way of Alanis' vision. Maybe that's why he's just unable to pass out of the double teams.
Exactly, and you know, taking out Alanis from the equation there, his other four teammates have got to step up when they're playing 4-on-3.
And that means that they really have to improve that off-ball movement.
There's bound to be a man open if you're playing 4-on-3.
7 seconds on the shot clock here for Taladua. He's in the paint. Through the outstretched arms of Shawarma Shack and into a foul.
Yep, and a hack from Neki Rifariel right there, earning himself foul. As you can see, spinning coming out from the blind side there was Rifariel.
Would have been a nice delivery there for Ardimas as Sanzar's got 11. Shack no good.
Once again has lost his hot hand there. Coming into this fourth quarter. Needs to find his touch again.
13 remaining here on the shot clock for Shawarma Shack as Zuzu almost turned it over. Monteclaro, will he stay hot? Offensive rebound for Shawarma Shack, but nice block here for Sanzar's Elmar Moradas.
Yeah, talk about a monster block just now by Mike Zuzu. This time Morada somehow blocks the smallest guy on the floor, Rifariel.
We've got a quick timeout here, 12-point game with 8:26 remaining in regulation. We'll be right back. 12 seconds on the shot clock here for Shawarma Shack as Zuzu tried to cut inside. He's in position in the high post. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Deles left corner three, no good. Zuzu taps it into Esguerra, but Sanzar picks it up.
Yeah, it does seem like the Sanzar Pharmaceuticals are trying to play his own defense there.
Alanis for three! The great Larry Bird, jersey 33 in the words of LFO. That's how much Alanis has on the board.
Man, Shaq Alanis lost his defender on that transition behind the back stop.
It's been quite the drought for him on offense though. Good defense for Moradas, and that's why he was frustrated that the officials called a foul on him just now.
Yeah, you know, thought he stayed upright following the attacker all the way to the basket. As we can see here, Pascolado. No, he did get a little bit of his hand, his right hand there, the right elbow touch. Earning Pascolado 2 trips to the line there. Pascolado has had a pretty uneventful game so far. 3 points, 2 assists, 2 rebounds, and 3 turnovers.
Julius Pascolado went to college at Wilbur Wright College in Chicago. That's actually where his love of the game grew. You can't go wrong learning to love the game of basketball in the city of Chicago.
No, definitely not. The windy city there. Gave birth to Derrick Rose as well. What a physical specimen he was in the NBA.
Meanwhile, Shaq Alanis getting the double, and Zuzu with the steal. Outlet, Monteclaro didn't pick it up. Sanzar's got another chance. They've got to capitalize. Kawamura calling for a pick, gets it for three. No. Moradas trying to act here. Can't get any approval from the academy.
Oh, the referee will call a technical foul there. I do believe it will go on Moradas. The technical foul is for flopping right there. Crew Chief Nelson Chan calling it.
And we were just mentioning it literally seconds before that T was called.
Yeah, he was play acting a little bit, and the referees want nothing to do with that.
I mean, Malaysia already scored a huge win at the Oscars with Michelle Yeoh. I guess he can't get another win after her rather.
No, definitely not selling that foul to the referee there. Moradas and RJ Dallas. No nonsense there. Gets rewarded for his play.
12 on the shot clock here for Shawarma Shack. Nice attack inside. That's good for Pascolado.
Pascolado using his inside hand to finish right there, protecting the ball from his defender. Went up.
That's 7 for him. Meanwhile, Kawamura can't get it to go.
Two players fighting for the rebound. There is Guerra as well as Mike Zuzu with a slight miscommunication.
And you can see Esguerra raising his hand going, my bad.
Yeah.
Kawamura taking a seat, Madera back in.
Still a 14-point lead for Shawarma Shack. They look in control of this game so far, but you never know, it's basketball.
Alanis willingly giving it to his teammates, seeing if they can produce as Zuzu tips it out of bounds.
Yeah, this time no second teammate to fight off the rebound from Mike Zuzu, but no teammate there to receive the tap out as well.
Kokoy Gikan checking back in. He's only scored that 1 3-pointer. That's a 3. Will that go in? No! Taladua can't convert.
Taladua still stuck on 14 points. Only has scored 4 points after coming out of the halftime break.
15 remaining here in this possession for Shawarma Shack. And there's another foul. That's going to be the third team foul. Sorry, the fourth team foul for Shawarma Shack.
Foul will go on number 39, Alanis.
Yes, that's the third team foul for Sanzar Pharmaceutical. Here's Zuzu. Nice spin inside despite the defense. And he's in double digits.
A little unorthodox, big on big pick and roll there. But Mike Zuzu made it work.
Sanzar almost losing control of that possession as we approach the 6-minute mark. Gikan couldn't find anything on that last shot.
He is 1 for 8 in this game at the moment, and if anything, I know that there's a saying shooter's gonna shoot, but maybe it's time to defer to a teammate now.
It's kind of like when you get your one hit. You're a one-hit wonder. Sometimes you might just have to be happy with that. And there's Gikan getting the rebound. Sanzar's running. Taladua's got Zuzu on him. Zuzu with a lackadaisical defense there.
Nice touch there as
Meanwhile, here's Pasculado. Finds Esguerra inside. Size advantage. Nice flip.
good footwork there to evade the defense and laying the ball up with his right hand, using the rim to protect.
That's
the ball.
12 for Leo Esguerra. Alanes, he's got Monteclaro, and Alanes looks like he's cramping up. Alanes is down as Zuzu gets called for the goaltend.
The referees had a clear sight of this one there. Alanes giving up the ball to his teammate, but he does seem, as you said, to be cramping up, struggling a little bit.
And you can see the moment where Alanes fell, the lactic acid just building up in his legs. Maybe from the travel, maybe from the fatigue, maybe from just all of the things he did to score 30 in the first half.
Man, I was surprised it wasn't his back, you know, from carrying his team.
You've got jokes, man. But this is no joking matter, of course. You hate to see anyone's game get interrupted by a cramp or an injury or anything of the sort.
Sure, as you can see, there's not a lot of contact between the two players, but Shaq Alanes is just crumpling to the floor there as he will check out of the game for a little bit.
And you have to give it to the guys of Shawarma Shack for the sportsmanship as well, just tending to Alanes. Like, that was their first instinct as soon as the whistle was called. Gikan trying to wrestle the ball away from Guevara. 2 seconds on the shot clock. And that's going to be a shot clock violation.
And that's a great defensive possession for Sanzar Pharmaceuticals right there. And that's perhaps one of the reasons why Kohoy Gikan is on the floor right now. Just his hustle and his defensive IQ.
14-point game with about 4:34 remaining here. Gikan tries another one. This time it goes.
There you go. Perhaps you heard me saying he was 1 of 8, you know, trying to prove me wrong there. Shooters can shoot.
You mentioned the hustle earlier, Mang. He's about to pull a John Cena because he never gives up. He just needs the loyalty and the respect, if you know what I mean.
I'm expecting that John Cena team song to come out right now. Just about right this second.
Kohoy Gikan, that beautiful rainbow right there. 4:20 remaining here in regulation, 11-point game. Rojo almost losing it. Esguerra, nice pass down low to Ken Bono.
Nice high-low pass between the two big men there, and that seems to be Shawarma Shack's game plan all day long. Esguerra with a nice find to Ken Bono.
And they're really making full use of their size advantage here as Gikan misses that three. And he's just telling his brother on the bench, my bad, dude.
If you guys don't know, the head coach of the Sanzar Pharmaceuticals team, Jimol Gikan, is the older brother of Kokoy Gikan.
17 on the shot clock for Shawarma Shack. Rojo breaking some ankles. Couldn't complete the play, but Esguerra with his second opportunity. Drawing some ooze from the crowd.
Yeah.
Billy Rojo, he just needed to make that bucket.
Man.
4 on the clock for Ken Bono. Fades away, and that jumper faded into obscurity, I'm afraid.
A little bit of anti-climax right there.
Gikan's wide open and drills it.
There you go. If he takes his time, he can make this shot.
But time is not on Sanzar's side right now. We're closing in on 3 minutes remaining here in regulation, and they're still down by 10. Guevara through the outstretched arms. Ken Bono for three. No.
Trying to look for an answer there, Ken Bono, but Sanzar Pharmaceuticals will get out on the break.
Taladua's got 20 now. 8-point lead. We're in single-digit territory. Pressures on Shawarma Shack. That's going to be an offensive foul against Billy Rojo.
The crowd was already wooing and ahhing. Billy Rojo getting his second ankle breaker there. But it seems like a shoulder extended or elbow extended right there.
Shawarma Shack and Sanzar both have the game plan for the last 2:38 of this contest. We'll be right back with more AsiaBasket action. Two minutes, 38 seconds remaining here in the 2023 AsiaBasket Kuala Lumpur opening matchup between Sanzar Pharmaceutical and Shawarma Shack as Kokoy Gikan cuts the deficit down to 5.
Man, there was a collision there. I thought I was going to hear a whistle, but Kokoy Gikan keeping his concentration to knock down that big tree.
Like you said, Meng, he just needs some time and an opening, and he gets the rebound. Outlet pass to Taladua, wide open.
And Sanzar Pharmaceuticals now making a run with their defense.
And there's going to be another timeout. Coach Raymond Valenzuela not pleased. The team's owner, Boss D, not pleased either.
No.
They're going to talk it over. We'll be right back. Kokoy Gikan has been an X factor here. We didn't really talk much about him heading into the ball game, but the last couple of possessions for Sanzar, he made an open three, and then he secured the rebound outlet pass to Jonathan Taladua, which cut the lead down to a single possession game, Meng.
Oh yeah, you know, he did not shoot well going into the fourth quarter. Only 1 for 7 in the game, but his hustle, his defensive IQ had kept it on the floor, and he's repaying his coach's faith, or his brother's faith right now.
Last 2 minutes here in regulation as Monteclaro tries to cross up his opponent. Monteclaro loses it. Bono's running out of time. Yes!
Ken Bono just in the right place at the right time.
19 points and 9 rebounds for the big. Let's see if Sanzar goes back to Taladua, who's got the rock. Goes for 3.
Ooh.
And Zuzu secures it against the undersized Dimas. Monteclaro barely crosses the half-court line. 11 seconds on the clock. Goes against the pick, and there's going to be a whistle.
Yeah, Sanzar Pharmaceuticals really playing an aggressive defense now, trying to force the turnover. Shawarma Shack that time, or having previously committed a couple of turnovers in the previous trips. This time they managed to draw the foul there. And
That's going to be against Obuyes.
yes, and the next foul will put them in the bonus.
14 on the shot clock. Monteclaro getting bailed out there, but Obuyes really showing some physicality on defense.
Yeah, he poked the ball loose, but then just hung on to Monteclaro there, preventing him from getting to the ball. As you can see here on the replay, the poke was good, but it was this one holding on to Monteclaro on the hustle, trying to get to the ball, that the referee has called a foul on. That will send Monteclaro to the line.
If you've been watching since the start of our coverage, you might not be expecting the type of game that we have towards the end game. 116, 5-point deficit for Sanzar. There was a time where they were up against Shawarma Shack, then Shawarma Shack remembered who they were, put a beating on Sanzar with a 31-2 run.
31-2, yeah, exactly.
And then all of a sudden, Sanzar made a comeback thanks to the combined efforts of Shaq Alanis and Jonathan Taladua.
Yeah, Shawarma Shack had a 19-point lead at one point in the game. And thank God for Shaq Alanis bringing Sanzar Pharmaceuticals back, putting them in this position here, only trailing by 6 points.
Monteclaro drilling that free throw to extend their lead up to 6. Alanis back on the floor. Good to see him playing again as Gikan misses that 3. Dimas with the offensive rebound.
Ball will find its way to Alanis.
8 seconds on the shot clock. Gets that pick and the double team. Dimas is all alone. Free throw line jumper. Way off. Offensive rebound once again. Gikan for 3. Can't get it. Zuzu just wrestling it against the competition. Less than a minute to go. Shawarma Shack can put the final nail in the coffin here with a well-executed play. 11 seconds left on the shot clock. Here's Deles getting that pick from Zuzu. He's got Guevara in there as well to help bail him out. Shot clock's running out. Deles seemed unaware and he threw it out.
I thought he knew what he was doing, trying to run out the shot clock right there, but it does seem like it's still a 2-possession game. Sanzar could still get back into this.
Yeah, with 20.1 seconds, a couple of quick possessions could have worked for Sanzar. But the problem is, RJ Deles seemed unaware that the shot clock and game clock still had quite a bit of difference in them.
Yeah, it was 40 seconds against the 24 of the shot clock. And RJ Deles just not paying attention right there. Thinking the game was over, the whole atmosphere in the court was like, just dribble the ball out kind of time.
And you could feel that the air was sucked out of the gym as the shot clock dwindled, which is quite the opposite reaction you'd like from a similar situation.
Exactly. I wasn't expecting that to happen since it was still a 2-possession game theoretically.
6-second differential now between shot clock and game clock. It's going to be Sanzar ball.
So a quick three here. High press to force turnover, and then another quick three could earn themselves a tight score.
Gikan inbounding. He's got Dimas,
Sanzar,
Taladua, Alanis. Those are his targets. So's Madera. Taladua. Can he make something happen? Gikan's time is running out. Just threw it up. And instead, he's got some freebies.
he will draw the foul there. The foul called by crew chief Nelson Chan. We'll take a look at this replay here. The Shawarma Shack team is trying to appeal for a foul, a replay here, an instant replay here.
So Shawarma Shack's looking for a coach's challenge, but our crew chief Nelson Chan is shaking his head.
I don't think the coach's challenge is in effect here in the AsiaBasket tournament. I do think it's up to the referee's decision to review a foul, and if I'm not wrong, according to the FIBA rulebook, a replay can only upgrade or downgrade a foul. So it can be upgraded to a technical foul or unsportsmanlike, but it cannot be, waved off once the call is made. So Gikan will get his 3 free throws to make this an interesting game, to say the least.
Pressure's on Kokoy Gikan, who drills the first calmly. Kokoy Gikan, 6 feet tall, 209. He's played in a couple of semi-pro leagues, one of them being the NBL Pilipinas, which is connected to the larger NBL system all around the world. He played for a team called the Las Piñas Oil Machine. And he's been quite the machine here in terms of scoring at the expense of efficiency, though.
No, it has been, especially in that fourth quarter. He scored, 11, and, with this free throw, which I assume he'll make, 12 points in the fourth quarter alone. So just different players stepping up for Sanzar in different quarters of the game.
And you have to hand it to them because they've showed some depth here. After Alanes stopped producing, after Alanes suffered through those cramps, they were able to find other players to step up. They had Taladua, they had Kawamura making that clutch 3 earlier, they had Kokoy Gikan. And for Shawarma Shack, now they have to default back to what's worked for them earlier in the game here as we look at some of the AsiaBasket fans in attendance celebrating their Easter Sunday here with us at the Maba Stadium.
No doubt, like you said, Sanzar Pharmaceuticals at the halftime break only had 2 players in the double digits and only 2 other players having scored 2 points. But since then, they have stepped up, and Kokoy Gikan has stepped up in the biggest way here, scoring 12 of his 15 points in this fourth quarter alone, making up for that deficit that Alanes has left them in after he left the floor with a cramp.
And it seems like we've got a bit of a kiss cam situation here as we're just a few seconds away from resuming game action. Coming up shortly after the coverage of this game, the second one of our doubleheader, you've got MBC Kirin taking on the third floor KALOSph PH.
And you told me about an interesting fact about the third floor team. They are a gym situated in
Quezon City, yes.
Yes.
Well, it's a very well-known gym, actually, that got a bit of traction over the pandemic because of its owner, one Gerald Anderson, one of the more well-known actors and celebrities in the Philippine showbiz scene.
And I heard that he will be playing in this tournament as well.
That's right.
So looking forward to his performances in the next game, perhaps, against the MBC Kirin, who is a team from Malacca, just a little bit down south from Kuala Lumpur right here. Just about an hour and a half time. A really cultural city, really good for their chicken rice balls.
Seems like you've come prepared to make me hungry as we head into the clutch time situation here.
10.9 seconds, we can go out for chicken rice. Do stay tuned. We do have a post-game interview coming up as well after these 10.9 seconds.
Both teams with some substitutions. Ken Bono back in for Shawarma Shack. Time's clearly not on Sanzar's side.
Good call to foul immediately there. Ken Bono will go to the line for 2 free throws since the team is in the bonus. But most importantly, this stops the clock for Sanzar Pharmaceuticals. I wasn't sure why they didn't press up against Ken Bono and allowed him to just receive the ball so easily.
Especially given the size advantage and the bulk of Ken Bono and how throughout the game it seems like his stamina had been chipped away at as the time progressed. Ken Bono going to the line here. He hasn't made a free throw yet. He's missed all 3 of his attempts.
Ooh, that's interesting. So he's got to knock down his free throws here. If he does,
just make a free throw here, he can ice this one.
Oh! Looks like the drama just playing right into the hands of the game.
Just one free throw from Bono can end it, and it looks like there might not be enough time for Sanzar. They've got to be quick. They're out of timeouts. Alanes, long 3, trying to channel Damian Lillard right there. Unfortunately, like the Blazers, Sanzar Pharmaceutical comes up short. Shawarma Shack Pilipinas winning this one 86-82.
Just not quite enough there from Sanzar Pharmaceuticals there. They did trail by 13 points at the end of the third quarter, and they have, played an absolutely phenomenal fourth quarter to bring it within 2 points here. But Shawarma Shack, just with the quality, enough quality and veteran experience from Ken Bono and Mike Zuzu, guys like this, as well as contributions from the rest of their team. RJ Dallas with 10 points.
Nicky Monteclaro, he had 13. Billy
Exactly.
Rojo had 10. Leo Esguerra had 12. 6 Shawarma Shack players in double digits, which also tells you about how they were able to spread the wealth throughout the contest.
Of course. And that will earn them the first win. Oh, their first win, the team's first win, as well as the first win in the AsiaBasket International Kuala Lumpur tournament here. As we wait for our post-game interview brought to us by Kimberly Mas.
That's right, the third member of our broadcast team. She's getting set with Ken Bono, who played spectacularly despite some of the misses at the line. He did finish with almost a double-double, 20 points, 9 rebounds, five of them from the offensive end.
And most importantly, the crucial free throw at the end of the game.
All right, I think our post-game interview is ready. Let's send it to our colleague, Kimberly Mas. Kim?
Thank you so much, panel. I'm here with the best player of the game, Ken Bono. So Ken, you guys started out slow for Shawarma Shack, but you guys managed to pull off.
We just pick up our defense in the second quarter, so that's why our shots are making.
And Ken, you scored points for Shawarma Shack. It's Holy Week right now. If you weren't playing here, what would you be doing?
I'm just trying to get in shape, and then I'm just trying to help my teams. Hopefully, thank God we get the first win. So hopefully we continue to the next game.
Okay, so Ken, greetings.
Hi to the Shawarma Shop and DD Nightclub. What's that? Ayan. Dash Cargo. Ano yan? GoTech, and hi to my family, my wife, love you, and my son. Thank you.
Congratulations, Ken Bono, for being a player of the game. Back to you, panel.
Thank you very much, Kimberly Mas. Ken Bono reminding everyone what he's capable of on the court as he led Shawarma Shack to their first win of the tournament. Final scores 86-82. We're going to be ending this our coverage of this one. Stay with us. In a bit, we've got MBC Kirin taking on the third floor KALOSph PH. That's on the docket. On behalf of Meng, my name is Stan C. Thank you so much for joining us for this opening matchup here at the 2023 AsiaBasket Kuala Lumpur.